Welcome to the WAGScast, a unique platform for empowering women and inspiring change, brought to you by Care Talks Women Achieving Greatness in Social Care Awards.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. We are here today to get talking about marketing and social care. So my name is Hannah Montgomery, and I've got a social care marketing consultancy called Golddust Marketing. But we've got two wonderful ladies that are here with us today to help with the discussion. So I'll hand over firstly to Sarah to introduce herself.
Hi everyone, I'm Sarah McCann. Thanks for the intro. Head of marketing from National Care Group. National Care Group is an adult social care provider supporting adults aged 18 to 65 with learning disabilities, autism, acquired brain injury, mental health support needs. And we provide supported living, residential support, and specialist education. I'm fairly new to social care, just joined National Care Group a couple of years ago. My background's predominantly travel and tourism, so absolutely loving the challenge of and getting to know a new sector, getting to know a new practice of marketing, and yeah, so far so good.
And what a diverse set of things that you get to market there. You're covering a big, broad care spectrum. I've known Jenni for a little while, and I know Jenni's got loads of background, but if you could introduce yourself, Jenni, that'd be great.
Sure. Hi, I am Jenni Page. A lot of you will know me as Jenni Mac. I've just got married. Yeah, I've been in the care sector for quite some time, maybe 10 years. I worked in a care home initially as activities coordinator, then just through naturally marketing the activities, I became marketing for that care home, then the whole care group. And then I moved to the Care Workers Charity, and now I'm with the Outstanding Society, who are a community interest company who support other care providers to reach outstanding with the CQC. We support in any way we can, podcasts, and the care show has taken over my life. I'm sure it's taken over everyone else's at the moment. But yeah, things like that. That's where my background is. Thank you.
Yeah, wicked. So we have got 6 kind of questions to go off. If we go off piste, it's really not a bother. So let's start professionally, and I'll read it out in my best BBC voice. How can creative marketing strategies help to change public perceptions of social care and highlight its value? What kind of things are we thinking straight off the bat?
Sorry.
Go, Sarah.
No, you go, Jenni. You go, Jenni. Yeah.
I think I might be an unpopular opinion here, but I think marketing for social care should be easy. Because if your care workers and their teams are doing a good job and your managers are running the home well, then it should be really simple for you to market that, because all you need to share is the joy and the laughter and the fun. Stand against ageist views of the elderly or the disabled, to show that they are just as fun-loving and they need that social aspect as much as everyone else. And I think when you see that, when you see people smiling and happy and enjoying it, that to me is just, it's so easy to show, so easy to market. I think it's wonderful. So yeah, for me, it's just changing that perception of a room full of old people staring at a television but not actually engaging with it, to the joy and the fun and the creativeness that you can have in these facilities.
Have you ever seen those Shutterstock images of that poor older lady? And I've seen her doing the rounds, and she's on everyone's exhibition stand and she's on everyone's website. And that lady must have not been with us for a very long time. And that's the image that people have of social care, because they're not using their own images. They've gone to Shutterstock and got that poor woman. We need to campaign for her to get her image off everything. What about you, Sarah? What do you think?
Well, I 100% agree. And I agree with you too, Jenni. It's about getting creative to change perceptions, isn't it? And for us, and I know the rest of the sector, that one of our biggest challenges is recruitment marketing and attracting the right people to come and work with us. And it's about getting creative to create that standout and attract the right people to choose to come and work for you, and convincing them that, you know, social care is not just a job, it's a career, and it's an interesting one, and it's progressive, and it can be a secure career for life. So I think that is really important that we have, you know, we have creative marketing strategies in place for that challenge alone. And like you say, it's about sharing those amazing stories and showing people that it can be, you know, this really varied day-to-day job, but also a very progressive career. So yeah, it's really important.
Well, it's definitely different. Like Jenny was saying about just record what you're doing on a day-to-day basis because you're doing such cool stuff. Imagine working for an IT development company and they're all just not talking. When I worked for IT development companies, just type away. Making that into interesting content, marketing content, it's much harder than delivering a whatever activity that you've got going on. What about kind of making it compulsory, like care sector and like social care knowledge within schools and stuff like that as a creative marketing campaign?
I hate to plug, but I've actually written a book which is called When I Grow Up, I Want to Be a Carer. And that's on Amazon. You can get it. It's a children's picture book, and that came from conversations about exactly that, Hannah, about how children don't aspire to be a care worker. You know, they're aiming for doctors, lawyers, firemen. You don't really see people aiming for a care worker. And actually, like you were saying, Sarah, about progression is wonderful, but also just being a care worker is enough. Progression,
Absolutely.
you have to, you know, and some people are completely delighted with their job and they never want to progress. But the book basically just puts it into children's minds. It's kind of aimed at preschool, early school years, to put that idea into their heads that is a possible career. So yeah, I think getting it into their heads at a young age. But I do think all the visits that go on at the moment between nursery schools and care homes, A, are wonderful marketing, like wonderful, and B, are so valuable to get that perception changed from an early age. So hopefully that the next generation that comes up won't have that view that we've had growing up.
Because what that kind of sidelines me into thinking about how are younger people influenced. And I know that Care Talk and all the care awards have a celebrity kind of ambassador that you know, everyone's quite excited that, oh my gosh, such and such is coming, and often they're really relevant to care. Do you think it's getting the right people to almost be ambassadors for a creative marketing strategy to highlight social care, or what are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's very powerful, yeah. I mean, gosh, but I mean, here we use our own people to do that for us because don't have the you know, the big budgets to do the celebrity endorsement route. But absolutely, you know, if you can achieve that, I think, you know, reflecting kind of I guess old news now, but just the elevation and the power of TikTok during the pandemic in our sector, and the ambassadors that came from that. I'm thinking, I mean, my mind's gone to the guy, I think he's an Australian support worker that got millions of views when he posted about, you know, like a day in the life as a support worker. I didn't know I was going to be a dance instructor, gym instructor, you know, all those things he ran through just in such a beautiful way. And he just became an influencer for the sector. I think we all just were in awe of what he did. And it was, yeah, it's kind of the route that we've gone down for sure. We've got some great people, some great ambassadors, and yeah, we use our own people, but yeah, the more celebrity endorsement you get, obviously brilliant.
Yeah. I think that leads really nicely into the next question. So that's what are some innovative marketing campaigns in social care that have been successful and then engaged communities and driven kind of positive change? What other ones stand out to you, Jenny? Is there any that just straight away come to you?
I mean, not specifically social care, but obviously the ASL Ice Bucket Challenge thing just
Oh,
went that was
yeah.
wonderful. And did everyone fundraise? No. Did everyone know why they were pouring ice on their head? No, but a hell of a lot of us picked up our internet or whatever and thought, what is this? And investigated, and it really did raise the profile of that charity and that disease itself. Like, that was incredible. To see that happen for social care would be amazing. Like, for people to show their connection to care online and for it to just boom would be amazing.
Maybe
Because I
that's
think
a
that's
really
it.
nice idea.
I think we've spoken about it before, like everyone's connected to care in some way. So it would be just great if everyone could share that, and it would just show how many branches social care has and everyone's connected in some way.
Yeah, we have we support over 1,300 people. They're based all around England and Wales, and we've got 2,800 colleagues. And one way we bring them together once a year is by creating what we call the National Care Group Annual Dance Off. And they all send us videos dancing to the same song, and we stitch them together and we create our annual dance off film, kind of in a similar vein to how the TikTok dances exploded, and they were so popular in our sector, weren't they, during the pandemic? So yeah, we bring everyone together that way, and they are so popular. We get inundated with video, and oh, it's a wonderful project to work on once a year, really. One of the reasons why you do the job. It's a lovely moment. So yeah, that kind of thing's really powerful.
Do either of you, both sides, get involved with, and I know Jenny might have done in a previous life, like Care Home Open Week and the other campaigns that are more not just one one brand specific, like everyone can get involved with?
Yeah, we absolutely do. Yeah, we support Care Home Open Week, and we have to be quite innovative because supported living it's not a home that you can open. It's everybody's individual homes, and they can't open their doors. So what we do is we do Care Home Open Week events at residential sites for friends and family and local professionals, but we also join in by opening our doors to work experience. So we kind of spin it on its head and have innovated that, so in a way that we can be open, invite people in, but in a more structured way. So during Care Home Open Week, we've had work experience people come and work with our supported living colleagues, and achieved it that way. But we absolutely do. We do support all the sector campaigns. We're just about looking at what we're going to do this year to support the McCann Awareness Day. Last year, again, in a similar way to the dance-offs, we brought everybody together signing a song, and we're going to do something similar this year. So yeah, they were a great way to gain a share of voice online in the sector, but they're also a great way of bringing everyone together internally. So yeah, we absolutely do jump on those.
We are together. We're gonna win. We're gonna get the most amount of you, which is cool. What about you, Jenny? What feedback have you had from those kind of campaigns?
Yeah, Care Home Open Week's fab. Obviously, it's, as you said, it's across the board. Everyone can get involved. I know that NAPA and the Care Workers charity get involved in that as well, so that's fab, because that's, the charity is wonderful. And then NAPA again are wonderful because they are the Activity Providers Association, so they kind of give out a lot of ideas of things to get involved in. I think just using the hashtags and the links for something like Care Home Open Week as a marketing strategy is so important, because obviously that's just then pulling your things through for other people to see. So all of these campaigns, I think, are so important to be aware of. I think the one thing we're lacking in this sector is a calendar of all of these dates that are specific to our sector. Someone has to create one, please. But yeah, I think that be fab to have all of the the marketable dates, all the specific dates, because they've got also, apart from Care and Open Week, we've got the Care Homes Have Talent or Home Care Have Talent, and there's loads of other things that go on in the sector specifically. So yeah, so important to jump on them.
But there's ones that work and there's ones that don't work. And I'm not saying if this works or it doesn't work, but there was a Made with Care campaign that the last government were running like for the last 3 years. So it kind of ended in March of this year. That they were working with Skills for Care to try and build this website and repository of things to be able to help people get into care. But then I don't know, do you find that they're matched up with the outcomes as well, or do you think they're just good things at start and then they finish, or what do you think? Or do you think that's really helped you recruit more people into what you're doing?
We did support. I think I came into position towards the end of that campaign, and we did join in. We did support it. We created our own recruitment clips for socials and joined in on the hashtags. I mean, it was, great to be able to, like you said, Jenny, use the hashtags and join the conversation. As regards to did it make a big impact and give us that specific campaign give us any ROI? Yeah, hard to say. I like to be negative, but
I think the main problem with recruitment marketing in this sector is that you're not just trying to get anyone, you're trying to get specific people. So it's even harder because I'm not dissing any other sector, but if there was someone who was putting things on a shelf, their personality and things don't really matter. It's their ability and their willingness to do the job. Whereas as a care worker, who you are as a person has to be, I think, specific for you to be so good at that job, because you do have to be empathetic and obviously caring. There has to be a little bit of selflessness of a person in there to be a care worker. You really have to be able to push yourself to discomfort to support someone else sometimes. And I think that's what makes recruitment so much harder in the sector, because just getting anyone into do a job is not what it's about. Yeah, it's very specific people that are good at this job, and you don't want to just hire anyone. You really want the best people. I always say in my job, which keeps me less stressed, that nothing I do in my job is going to mean someone's life is ruined or someone dies. If you work in a care home, that possibility is there. That's a lot of it's a lot of pressure and a lot to put on someone. And if they don't actually care about the job specifically, then that makes that so much harder. I think recruitment is definitely something that's difficult in this sector, and I do not envy recruitment people at all.
There's a campaign, when I was thinking about this, there's a broader campaign, the Dementia Friends initiative, because we ran that at Grace Cares for all of our volunteers and everybody that's involved. So we would just get a bit more of an understanding of the people that we're potentially serving and helping. And I think actually those broader initiatives going into just general workplace, so that everybody as a nationwide has an understanding of some of the things that are happening within social care. I think that's quite, not just as a social care initiative, but as an initiative to bring people and make people aware of social care. I think that was quite good. So, right, how can social care providers use storytelling to connect emotionally with their audience and promote their services? Oh, who wants to go first? Or change the answer, change the question?
Do you want to go, Sarah?
I can. I mean, the how, I guess we do it various ways. We talked a lot about the amazing stories and the privilege of writing that case study with that person and their support worker is just the best bit of the job. Well, then how we do it through, award nominations. That's a brilliant way to do it, and it's so rewarding to put that person and their achievements in the spotlight and give them their moment. But obviously really powerful marketing and just a great way of telling their story.
Which
And you know,
awards do you go for then, Sarah? If there's someone listening now, I mean, obviously all the Care Talk awards and all the care, you know, sector awards, but which one specifically do you go, yeah, they're there on the list?
yeah, well, the WAG Awards, we've done the last 2
Exactly.
years. We've made nominations and been successful, which is brilliant. It was great to see Claire Leak, HR, win the HR award in its first inaugural year, and it was great to share all the ways in which she's innovated strategies at National Care Group, bring that to life. We've supported the Great British Care Awards, Learning Disability and Autism Awards. They're great ways of raising awareness in regions, shining the spotlight, using the stories to shine the spotlight on people, and get some regional coverage as well as national. Yeah, which other, I mean, some of the big ones, we put National Care Group forward, like Langruson and Health Investor, and yeah, we're generally active most of the year writing nominations, and we have our own internal awards that are very popular. We have the annuals and the monthly awards, and that's one of the ways we capture all of our great stories through colleagues recognizing each other, which is just a joy. So yeah, we very actively using awards as a marketing tool.
Yeah, they all mean so much, don't they? From
They
all
do.
levels. You've got the higher management levels getting recognised, then you've got the care delivery team, and then when
Absolutely.
everyone's recommending themselves, like they're someone that they've highlighted, and you're like, oh, I just did that just because.
There is the lovely one, Pollard's Promises. I see we introduced it to colleagues. We found it and I introduced it to colleagues, and I've seen them nominating both each other and people we support, and they get little gifts, little instant gifts for, I don't know, it could be anything as small as a shopping voucher to, if they have a particular passion, they get treated to a day out at the theatre or what have you. And yeah, it's really lovely to see. They're more instant rather than waiting for an annual awards to come around.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a really nice activity.
Jenny, what about you in terms of how you can use the storytelling to emotionally kind of connect?
I think, you know, it's social care. So the two words there is social. So social media should be a doddle, because that's what it's all about. It's social, and I think you just need to show the care. For me, I think, like what Sarah was saying, using real people, I would actually go against using celebrities and things like that. And I think especially in this day and age where people are starting to step back and realize celebrities are just normal people, and they're not perfect and they make mistakes, and so they're not as highly regarded as they used to be, I would say. But using real people is so much more important. For me, if I was to place someone I love in a care home, I would be much quicker to go to them if I saw a video of a wee lady who's saying, do you know what? I don't like a cup of tea. I really like my coffee. And they never forget that. And they always give me 3 sugars because I like it sweet. And I really appreciate that they don't ever just give me tea because everyone else is having tea. I would rush to that care home because that tells me that what that person wants matters, and it's person-led. Person-centered is great, but person-led is the way forwards, because I know from my mistakes you can put someone at the center of it and still make a mistake. If they lead you, if they tell you what they want and stuff, then that for me is the best marketing for care, is show me the real people with the real information that shows me that you actually care. You could have 5-star, you could have a swimming pool and a cinema room, but if you're going to give me a cup of tea when I only want coffee, I'm not interested in your cinema room. You know, that for me is the real marketing, and that's the real storytelling. The connection is the real people. It's magical. I love it.
Well, let's be honest, no one wants to get on film. And if somebody is passionate enough that you're delivering good care for them and they want to shout it from the rooftops for you, you can't fake it in someone's face, can you? A testimonial on Google is great for your SEO and stuff like that, but a video of a worker or a user of care that's showing in their face, you can't hide it, can you? So no, I think that's really, really important. So, okay, we'll go on to some kind of tops and tips in terms of digital now. So what role does digital marketing play in raising the profile of social care? What do you think?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, it's just everything, isn't it? It's huge. And I think it leads on from our chat about the power of video. Video is the way most people are consuming media. I mean, if you've not got an image or a video attached to your social media post, you're not going to get any traction. We all know that. So yeah, I mean, we spend a huge proportion of our time creating digital content day in, day out with our colleagues, whether that's internally on our new digital engagement app, which for the first time has connected 2,800 colleagues who don't have corporate email. So for the first time, we've been able to reach them with news, but most importantly, they've been able to reach each other and support each other and feel like they work for this big provider rather than, a lot of them work on their own with the people we support each day. So that's been massive for us. We're going through a program of digitization, introducing Nourish and Radar, etc. But as a marketing team, it's been the engagement platform, like the intranet, replacement. That's just been revolutionary for us.
That's important. That internal marketing, nobody ever really thinks about. So the fact
oh my gosh, it's massive. Yeah. For providers,
that would be enough to make me want to come work for you, because everyone's connected. Because for me, my background's care home, so home care would feel quite lonely, but that would be amazing to connect to everyone else. I think that's wonderful. Yeah.
It has been really revolutionary and supportive of colleagues, especially who work night shifts, because they're not on their own in the middle of the night. I mean, they never should. They've always got their, manager's support, of course, but they can reach out and, talk about the little things all 24 hours a day. They can connect. And there's resources. We've got a well-being hub of resources that they can dip into that they've not had as easy access to before. And we've got diversity, for example, champions on there they can reach to and connect with. Yes, it's been a wonderful thing to see. We were obviously nervous. We didn't know, because colleagues voluntarily opt to use it. We don't force them to use it, but we're enjoying about a 94% registration rate, and it's just been wonderful to see them supporting each other. We saw one colleague, for example, in Gloucestershire, noticed that a colleague she's never met before in Worcestershire hadn't been active for a couple of weeks. We saw her publicly post, "Oh, hi Kelly, how are you? Worried about you. You've not been active for a couple of weeks." And they've made a friendship, and it's just brilliant. Yeah, it's been wonderful to work on. Great project.
Wow. What about you, Jenni?
Power of digital.
Yeah.
I mean, it's everywhere. Everyone has access to, it's accessible to all, no matter where you are. Or I think that the beauty of it is, like, I can be sitting in Glasgow and look for a care home in London if I want to, through digital marketing, because it's all online, it's all there. I think it can be free. My marketing when I was in the care home working activities, I didn't have a budget. I didn't have a penny to spend on it. And I had celebrities interacting with us in the care home, because just how I've angled it. So it can be free, and quite often you'll get far more from a really good campaign that you've run for free than you will from a paid one. So I think that's quite important as well. Obviously, you're going to pay staff member who's running it, but overhead costs, sometimes they're not even needed.
Yeah, and you can really target with digital, can't you? You can kind of write, this is the kind of demographic I want, this is a hashtag I'm going to use in it, and you can review the data. Why when I post on this day at this time, does it get so much more views than the content that I've spent 5 hours crafting and sculpting, and 3 people have looked at it? And let's be honest, most of them were my mum and my auntie, because I made someone look at it. At least you can review the data and kind of understand, and then go and position for a bigger budget, hang on, for free with this angle, we've managed to get this interaction. Now trust in me and believe in me and let me, just have a little bit and let me see what I can do with it. I think that's really important, because do you guys have to report quite a lot on your marketing activities, digitally or otherwise?
Yeah, but like you say, it's quite fun, isn't it? Getting into the stats. I think with digital marketing, you can get really geeky, can't you, about it, and really delve into it. And like you say, get into the most popular times and try and differentiate between what caused that post to get so many more hits than the other post. So yeah, I quite enjoy getting into the stats.
I think it's cross-platform as well, because different platforms have different audiences on them, obviously. So some campaigns will just smash it on TikTok and just fail miserably on LinkedIn, because they're very different audiences. So that's the good thing as well. Like, you can specifically alter a campaign for whatever platform you're using, and it can make all the difference. I don't. Sometimes it's difficult not to just put the same content out across different platforms, but sometimes I think specifically you have to make it match.
Yeah, tweak it, because some people aren't really going to be relevant to it at all. Okay, no, that's cool. I think it's about building a kind of tribe as well, knowing who the people are, as you say, on each social media. But what about other types of digital? So website, electronic direct mail, pay-per-click maybe, or just SEO, and digital news channels and stuff like that. How are you finding those? Do any of those work well for you?
Gosh, yeah, I mean, especially for recruitment marketing, for sure. I mean, people looking for jobs is the biggest driver of traffic to our website. So it's really important for us to stay on top of the content on there and ensuring the customer journey is, good. And we're looking to introduce a new website before the end of the year. So that's a big project for us at the moment. Interesting one.
I don't envy you there, Sarah. I think we've all implemented new websites,
and
and
everybody
you go forwards, backwards, and around.
And everybody wants to be involved.
Good luck.
Yeah, thank you. But no, that's exciting times. And website, we do e-marketing, of course, and it's very account-based. I think in our sector, especially, account-based marketing is hugely important. Creating those trusting relationships with your local professionals, and maintaining that regional presence and awareness. So yeah, very important to us. Yeah.
About you, Jen? Is there anything else on the digital kind of spectrum of marketing that you're like, yeah, that's cool, or even that's awful, do not do it, do not waste your time doing it?
Email marketing is a hit and a miss with, I find. Open rates and things are obviously that you can see all that data as well, so it's really good. But like you said, sometimes depending on what you've sent out, or hours and hours on something, and hardly anyone opens it, and it just sits in someone's email. I think that's the good thing about social media, rather, because it's, even if you're not reading it, you're having to scroll past and you're seeing it anyway. So whether you want it in your head or not, it's kind of gone in. I've never really ventured into the television, radios, or anything like that side of things. I did have a dance DJ come into our care home at one point from the radio, but we never ventured into the marketing side of things.
I suppose it's getting the regional news channels in. If you're doing something maybe over, you could hook it to maybe one of the national campaigns and that you're getting involved with, and then at a regional level, get your regional TV crews in. That's at least a free way of trying to do it. Not that they ever put it on the day that they say they're going to do it. Or they'll interview you for 5 hours and then there'll just be a snippet of your eye going, nothing will go on, and all your family will be watching it. But that's a kind of way that you can try and get it at a cheaper kind of level. We're going to go on to the final question, ladies. Don't worry, there's nothing else to come out. How can marketing be used to amplify the voices of people using social care services to ensure that their stories are heard and valued? I know we have touched upon this because it's been quite a broad discussion and we've gone here, there and everywhere. But if we can just think about that, then how can marketing be used to amplify the voices of the people using social care services?
Yeah, I've got a lovely example from one of the directors at the Outstanding Society, Lara Bywater, from LDC Care. And like you, they support people with learning disabilities, and some of their staff, but also their service users came to London Pride as part of the Outstanding Diversity Forum. And it was just wonderful to see that the service users were there, they were celebrating Pride, they were celebrating themselves, and that they were allowed to do that. And the word allowed sounds awful, but you know, like they were encouraged to do that, they were supported to do that. And I just thought it was so wonderful to see, because not only are they showing the values of the company, LDC Care, also values of their service users. And I just think it's wonderful that people are allowed to be themselves, and not only that, like shout about it. Stuff like that just warms my heart. I love it.
No, that's wicked. What about you, Sarah?
I mean, that's a great example. I mean, yeah, so stories similar to that. We find that we talked earlier about people not liking to be in video and posters, but some of the people we support, they jump in front of the camera and they're so proud to share their moments. So we really have an endless list we're working through at the minute of trying to get to everybody that wants to come forward with their story and their voice. So just this morning, I was on a call with a person we support who's our co-editor of our next magazine, which is targeting families and colleagues. It's called Changing Lives, and he's a chap called Miles, and he's our co-editor this month. And he has really enjoyed working with us. He's had a steer on the content. He's written a feature with us. He's written his welcome column. He's had a say on, the pictures that we've used. So it's really, really rewarding to give him that voice to, have a say on our communications. I really enjoyed that project. And it's something we're doing more of. So people we support are going to be involved with the content and the look and the feel of the new website. So looking forward to that. We have a new panel that we've just formed, who are part of our CSR strategy. They are called our community group, and they join calls from services all around the country, and they share best practice on recycling and fundraising and volunteering work that they're doing, and just to hear their stories. And like I say, try and get to them all and give them all their moment on socials or a news story, or put them forward for that award. It's brilliant. Best bit of the job.
So you're all talking about user-generated stuff, not that insincere, you've shoved a camera in front of someone's face and they're going, I love this.
No, we have them come forward.
Pride, we've done this, I've put this, and what have you, which I think
they come forward, absolutely come forward, and it's great to give them their moment. Yeah.
And if you have a culture of celebrating that, people will be more likely to come forward, and I think that's wonderful. Like, people will work harder to prove themselves so they can come forward. So it's got the knock-on effect. I think that's brilliant.
Definitely diverse representation and inclusive representation, but I think included within that is also user-generated content when they're being honest and saying when stuff is a bit naff as well, because nothing is all sugar and rainbows and wonderfulness. If they're properly telling the truth, because people can read between the looks of, oh, this is not true. My face would tell it straight away. And what about maybe then that could tie in then people, once they've got the really good stories, then that flows into the awards like you've already spoken about before, and the PR stuff. So they all intertwine, doesn't it? Marketing, really, it's all interbred. But I think
content. Yep.
But internal marketing, I think you guys have really pulled that out, like how important it is that the staff staff are the center core of most of the marketing stuff that we kind of branch off, which I think is really interesting and should be that way.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Any more hidden gems before we kind of wrap it up? We're like, they need to know this, but I'm gonna explode if I don't say it.
I just think the one thing I would say about marketing for social care is that it's very British, that we don't shout about how good we are. And I think for our sector that has to change, because there is so much good work going on out there and people don't know about it, and people still have this really terrible opinion of social care. And it's awful when you're in the sector and you see such good things going on to know that that's the opinion of people. So yeah, it's just shout about it, tell everyone how wonderful you are, don't be afraid to tag big companies. The interactions I've had specifically on Twitter, I found that to be the best one, with massive companies who've then sent boxes and boxes of product for my residents and stuff like that, and we were sent non-alcoholic beers, and we were sent J2O juices, and don't be afraid to tag people and share it even further, and shout about how good you are, because the work that goes on in this sector is incredible and not enough people know about it. So yeah,
I think that's a really good tip to end on. Yeah, partnerships. Like you say, don't be afraid to reach out and tag, and we should do more of that as a sector, align with organisations that have close similar values to your own, create that louder voice for the sector. Yeah, absolutely agree.
So I'm pretty sure we're all happy. If anyone wants to contact any of us after this, find us on LinkedIn, reach out with questions. You guys are happy to answer anything and support anyone in the sector.
Sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. Reach out.
Okay. Well, thanks for your time, and thanks for being so open and honest with your feedback. I think it's been a really good session. And thank you very much, everyone. See you later.
Thank you.
Bye.